Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Morning Mobility with NATEFIT, where we will be focused on getting you moving in the morning, a 15-minute class posted every day at 5:30 a.m. to help you build a movement habit. Today we're going to focus on hips and spine. So we're going to start off doing our hip cars and getting them warmed up. So we will lie on our side. Hands clasped together, and let's get those hips moving. We're going to start off with hip flexion, pulling our knee to our chest, opening up, abduction, going nice and slow through this, internal rotation, extension, adduction, knees together, and we'll reverse with extension, abduction, external rotation, flexion, adduction, knees together. And we'll go again. We're going to do 3 reps on each side. If you've done the previous classes, you're going to notice this feels a lot better when you do your hip cars as that lateral tissue of your hip gets healthy. And we'll reverse. If at any point in time you feel like your tissue is cramping throughout this range of motion, you'll likely feel it on this side. That lets you know that that tissue needs work. We can use our cars as an assessment tool to see how healthy our tissue is. The better it feels when you move, the healthier it is. Nice and slow. Excellent. And we'll flip over to the other side. The reason why I do hip cars lying on my side is we are locking this bottom hip in place, and that will allow us to just get movement out of the top hip. We could technically do them standing, but it is hard to isolate the intended joint from that position. And reverse. Good, we'll go again. Today, one of the things that we're going to focus on is rotation of our hips. Rotation is the fundamental movement of a ball and socket joint, your hips and your shoulders. So that's something that we're going to keep plugging away at in our morning mobility classes. Nice and controlled. And we'll do one more. And reverse. Good. Next, we're going to come up into our 90-90 position, working on external rotation of the hip. So we want our front leg at 90 degrees, our back leg at 90 degrees. We're going to put our hands behind us, leaning back on the hands, turning the shoulders towards this leg, and we're going to lift, lifting the knee up, high as you can. You might feel a little pinch in that hip. We are working on the joint capsule right now, externally rotating the hip, and trying to get that connective tissue that surrounds the joint a little bit more mobile. We're going to do 6 reps on each side. That's 3. This is a very active exercise, so I'm pulling up as high as I can, hitting that sticking point, trying to go a little bit further, and then on the way down, I'm not going to let gravity do the work, and I'm going to actively press my knee down. It's 4. Back up. You'll notice this side stays locked down, so I'm just getting movement out of this hip. We'll do one more. And back down. Excellent. We're going to flip over to the other side. Turning and facing. Again, the more rotation you have out of this hip, the more you're going to be able to turn your shoulders towards that leg. And here we go, pulling up high as we can. Again, for a lot of you, this isn't going to feel good. Pressing down. If it doesn't feel good, take note of it and use that as a starting point. And every time you do this, your hip will feel better and better. That's 2. 3. Our bodies aren't meant to be in positions for long periods of time. So when we sit in comfortable chairs, it allows our bodies to stay in those positions. And then we adapt, tightening up in those different positions. So this will help get those hips moving again and ideally take away some pain when you do start moving. And we're going to do one more here. Excellent. Now we're going to add our spine in, doing our thoracic spine cars. Again, in a lot of these episodes, we are going to be repeating a lot of movements because, again, we need to take our joints through their full range of motion every single day. For this, again, if this is an uncomfortable position, you can put something underneath your butt to elevate you. You can also do this seated in a chair. We're going to start off in flexion, tucking that rib cage down. Rotation, lateral flexion, extension, rotation, lateral flexion, coming back around in front, and again, flexion, rotation, lateral flexion, extension, rotation, lateral flexion, coming back around in front. And again. Good. We're going to do 3 in the other direction. Again, very intentional with these movements. Flare that rib cage up. Rotating to the other side. Back down and around. Again. You'll notice in most of the classes there is a spine component. Again, because we sit, our spine adapts to those positions. So we want to get it moving as much as possible to get rid of any lower back pain. The more your thoracic spine moves, the less your lumbar spine has to move, and that will reduce the risks of any back pain. Okay, next we're going to go back down into our side-lying hip cars. For this one, I'm going to demonstrate the first rep. We're just going to focus on internal and external rotation. So we're going to go up into this position. This is going to be our starting point, pointing the knee towards the ceiling. We're going to internally rotate and extend, and then externally rotate and flex. This is going to be quite uncomfortable for most of you, but we're really going to work this lateral tissue here. So starting off, knee pointed towards the ceiling, we're going to do 5 reps of this. If at any point in time you need to pause and just take a quick break before you finish the 5 reps, you're more than welcome. So we're here, pointed towards the ceiling. Internal, extend, external, flex. Internal, extend, external, flex, and you'll start to feel that tissue burning or cramping. This is number 3. Good. 4. And one more. 5. Excellent. Take a break. Whew. Okay. To the other side. Coming up, pointing that knee to the ceiling. Internal, extend. External, and flex. It's 2. 3. You'll notice that one side probably feels worse than the other. You'll always have one side that the tissue is healthier. And I don't remember if that was 5, so we're going to do one more to be sure. Excellent. Okay, we'll give the hips a break. We're going to come back into our kneeling thoracic spine position. And we're going to separate 2 movements here as well. So from here, we're going to rotate and then laterally flex. You're going to feel a big stretch in the back on the far side, the opposite side that we're rotating to. So we're going to do 5 reps in each direction. So here, rotate, laterally flex, tucking down, coming back up, back to neutral. We'll do all 5 on the same side. Rotating as far as you can, tucking down. That's 3. 4. And 5. Good. We'll do 5 on the other side. If you want to feel a bigger stretch in your back, take in a deep breath before you do the rep. And one more. Excellent. Now we're going to go back into our hip car position. From here, we're going to bend the knee, we're going to extend the hip, and we're just going to do abductions. Abduction is the movement away from midline. When you're doing this, I want you to attempt to keep your ankle and your knee level. So it's going to look like this. I'll demonstrate the first rep. Up, squeeze. You're going to feel a restriction somewhere around there. Some people can get it higher. What we want to avoid doing is our knee coming forward into hip flexion. So we're going to keep that knee back so we create that nice line. And we'll do 5 of these, nice and slow. Raising up, squeeze, and you're going to feel that tissue. That's 1. Knee stays bent at 90 degrees. 2. Just straight up, straight down. 3. 4. And one more. 5. Excellent. Flipping over to the other side. Okay, bend the knee, extend the hip, straight up, keeping that ankle and that knee level. It's 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Excellent. Okay, we're going to go back to our thoracic spine cars. Hands on the shoulders. And here we go. Flexion. Really try to get as much range as possible now. We've opened things up. There's one. We're going to do 3 in each direction. It's 2. And 3. Go 3 in the other direction. One. You'll notice as we do our cars a lot more, you'll get a lot more control. And it won't feel like such a struggle getting through them. Excellent. And then we're going to finish off with another set of full hip gars. Coming down into our side lying position. Pulling the knee to the chest. Opening up into abduction. And again, feel the difference between this and your first set. That hip is going to feel a lot more free. One more. And reverse. Good. Going to the other side. And we'll finish off with this side. There's a lot of hip work today. Again, you will notice a big difference in the next few days on how those hips are feeling, especially that lateral tissue. Two more. Nice and controlled. And last one. Excellent. Thank you for joining another episode of Morning Mobility with NATEFIT. Again, if you know of anyone that wants to build a daily movement habit, somebody that's in pain, somebody that just needs to move more, please share the link, and we will be uploading a video every morning at 5:30 a.m. I'll see you tomorrow morning.